Well, another day, another problem. Go figure. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to show you what's going on. Well, hello fellow YouTubers. Hopefully everybody's doing just great on this Sunday afternoon. Nice pretty day, nice and cool out here. And it's getting cooler, and last night I turned my heat on the Taurus, and what do you know? As soon as I turned the heat on, it was pretty warm. Then it went kind of cold to almost nothing. So if you watch some other videos, about 2 weeks ago I flushed this out. Got all the old stop leak that was in it, someone had put in it. I still got a little bit in there. I'm going to flush it out today, but I can't figure out why I don't have any heat. So I did some more research and found out. Well, I basically went in here and flushed this engine out and everything. There is a bypass hose right down there. Zoom in there. It goes from there right about there. Now, when I was flushing this out, most of the bypass was taking all the water, and it was coming back up through here, and it was just going back out of my bucket. Well, it turns out I'm going to have to go down here and unhook those two other hoses you see right there with that clamp on it, and there's a secondary hose there on the bottom, right about there. Now, I'm going to have to get under the car and do that. But that's the way you really got to flush that heater core out. If you try to do it just on the top here, from that hose to that hose on the other side, which is right about here, there's a hose that comes up next to your water pump there. Not the water pump, the thermostat. And it runs back around the engine and back over to that heater core. It's not going to do you any good. I found out the hard way. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go ahead and unhook, move these lines out of the way so you can see in there. I got to go under, I think I can get that clamp there on the top. This hose right there with the clamp on it, you see, I can get that from underneath the car. And let me go under the car here. The sun's been in and out, so it's kind of hard to keep my camera the right light settings. And if I zoom up, let's see if you can see that, if I can even see it. Right there is the other clamp. Let's see, right there. I can get that from underneath. That's why my car is up on ramps. So, I've got a couple of hoses. I'm going to go ahead and hook those up and flush this out and flush that heater core out. But you can see where that bypass there is. Basically, it just 50% of your flow bypasses your heater core. So, settlements. Let me get back up. Oh. A lot of sediments and stuff gets lodged in that heater core, and when you try to flush it out just on those other two hoses here, it's not going in the heater core, it's just bypassing that heater core. So I'm going to have to go in and do that today. So that's something I kind of overlooked when I was doing it last time. But I did have heat, but it just wasn't, like it should be. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and hook these hoses up here. Well, first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and drain out the rest of the fluid. And there's a little connector right there that I can just kind of spread apart, and it'll drain 95% of the antifreeze out. Then I can go ahead and disconnect those two hoses. And I'm going to use these guys here. This bigger one is going to go on top. I'm going to hook that up on top and run the water hose into it. And this one here will be on the bottom into a bucket, and I can see what I got. So hopefully I won't be opening up a can of worms. I hope the heater core is good. Someone put stop leak in here. I'm not sure why, but I could never find any leaks. But they might have just replaced the radiator. I don't know. They told me they had, so maybe it was a bad radiator, and that's why they put the stop leak in there. But I'm going to go ahead and flush that out. We'll go ahead and take this apart, get the antifreeze out, and we'll go ahead and hook these hoses up and see what we get. So, like I said, car's up on ramps. And I got to put some shocks on back there on the back to kind of keep it from rolling over. So, all right, let's get to it. And I may go ahead and just unhook this cooler here, this air cleaner off, get it out of the way so you can kind of see in there where I can take my video camera and show you a little bit better. So let's get to it. All right, let me show you what I've done so far. I went on ahead and moved all this air cleaner stuff out of the way because I found out it's a lot easier if you just stick your hand in here with a pair of pliers. You can get to those clamps. It's easier. Actually, it was a little bit easier than I thought. And you can see, like there's one clamp, it's off. There's the back of the heater core. And the second one is, you're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to have to go underneath. But I got it too from the top. And I'll go under here and show you where it's at. And actually, I use something like this to get to kind of get it loose on the bottom. But as I got up on top, I realized I can still get it from the top if you stick your hand in there. And if I get the camera to focus, where is it? There it is, right there. That hose there, that's the bottom heater core. So I've got that clamp off, and I wiggled that hose a little bit and took a pair of pliers and kind of slightly grabbed it and turned it, and it came loose. And you can see the antifreeze is leaking there already. Now, the reason I'm doing this, and I decided to go ahead, in order for me to get those two hoses off on the bottom, that radiator and the cooler, the heater core, I have to take this whole assembly off. Now, the good news is there's only 2 bolts. One bolt is right there. It's a little tiny 10mm bolt. You see right there, there's a bracket that is held on. And of course, I'm trying my patience here with my camera. There it is. And there's one more. By the way, this hose goes right to here, right behind your thermostat. Right there. I disconnected that. And on this side, there's a bolt. It's kind of hard to get to. Now, you'll have to unhook some of these little vacuum lines right there. There's a little T, which is a little elbow goes in. Of course, I broke it, and I just pulled the rest of it out, and I can slide it back in. And I got me a bungee cord, and I kind of pulled this wiring harness back just to kind of get it out of my way. There's one bolt. Now, there's the bracket. Let me zoom in. Sorry about that. There's that, you can see that hose, the bypass. If I follow that right to there, you see that bolt right there? That's the bolt I got to take out next. I believe it is a 10. I can probably get that with my little millimeter socket, 10mm socket, or could be even an 8. But to get to that, just remember, you got to move some stuff here out of the way. There's a hose, where is it, that I had to kind of snake out and pull out of the way just to give me a little room. Here it is. It's right here, and it actually connects right there on the back of the plenum. So I just kind of pulled it back a little bit and kind of pulled it over this top piece there. And really, it's ready to come out. So all I got to do is go ahead and take those 2 bolts out on that bracket, which is right there. I'm not sure why my camera's not focusing right today. Give you one more look at it. Right there. Take that bolt out right there, and there's a bracket right there. It goes to that assembly. I'll give you a name of this assembly. I forget what it's called. I can't think of it right now. And I'm going to pull the whole assembly out through this side. And then I can put my hoses on the heater core and go ahead and blow that out in there. So there's one more look at it. And you can see that heater core hose right there. I got the clamp pretty much off. I hate those clamps. You gotta have a special tool, but I use pliers to get them. So let me go ahead and take those bolts out, and we'll snake this out of here, and I'll give you one good look at it. And the reason I did that is because I know some of you may have to take this off anyway and replace it. And if you really want to flush the heater core out the right way, you also got to take it off. So yeah, I know this will, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But once you do it, and your heater is working 100% and it's 10 below zero outside, you're going to be really happy. So if the garage did this, it'd be $300 or $400. So hopefully I've explained this the best I can, and let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there is a little plastic drain here for the wipers. When it rains, it kind of goes down the windshield. You could probably just pull this piece out of the way if you want, because this hose kind of goes behind it. The one that goes right here behind the thermostat. It'll just make it easier to pull this out. So I'll do that here in a second with my other hand. So I'll go ahead and take this out, and we'll take a look at it here. And why is my camera struggling today? This is a JVC high definition camera. But anyway. Alright, so let me go ahead and take that out. This wasn't too bad. I used a 10mm deep well to get that one bolt off back there in the bracket I was telling you about. I think you can even see the stud there, right there. Got it off. Come on, camera, you can do it. Alright, but anyway, very easy to take off. Once you break them loose, you can just turn them loose with your hands. Not an issue whatsoever. And on this side, got this one off, and there it is. Very easy to do. And there's the stud that it bolts onto right there. And for the most part, all I had to do is go in there, put my hand on that heater hose right there and grab it. And I apologize for this camera. I don't know what the hell is going on with it. Why isn't it focusing? Alright, anyway, sorry about that. It's Sunday. There's the heater hose core right there, been disconnected. And the second one is actually hiding back there. Now, I did get this piece out here I was telling you about. You have to actually, it's kind of sitting on a stud. You kind of get it off the stud, and you grab the bottom of it, and you turn it like this, and it kind of pops out of the bottom of it there, of the gutter, and kind of lay off the side. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me have a drum roll. We're going to pull this assembly out, finally. And the key is, like I said, is to get that piece here, the gutter piece, out of the way, because this kind of snakes around it. And here it comes out. And this is why people got a lot of people got to replace these because they rust, and you can see why. I mean, you just get out here in the sun. And there it is. Now, here is the bypass part I was telling you about. When I was flushing this out, the water was just going up and back out and into the engine here. This part goes in the heater core. It's what I really needed to get flushed out. But you can buy this whole assembly if yours is leaking. I've seen them on eBay from dealers and so forth. You can get them for about $60, $70. And here's the one bracket bolt right there. And there's the other one. I kind of hold it up here. That's the whole assembly. So. And these hoses, I believe, are 5/8, so if you look down in there, you can see a little bit of crud. And that goes right into that heater core, and I bet you anything that's why my heat is not working like it should. So, wow, there's a lot in there, too. You can see that or not. And even on this side. So, I'm going to set this off to the side and give you one more look before I hook my hoses up. There's both heater cores, tubes. There's the lower one, there's the top one. And if you look closely, you can see a lot of that crud, that stop leak on the firewall there. So I'm excited. Let me go ahead and hook up the water hose now. We'll blow this out, and I'll set a bucket down there, and we'll look at it, and we'll see what comes out. Maybe we'll see some gold. I don't know. We'll get that lucky. All right. Well, all right. After flushing this out, switching that hose back and forth down there on the top and the bottom, I just kept flipping it around. At first it did not want to go. I could not get any water to go in here. But after I flipped it around a couple times, I probably spent 10 minutes on it. And finally got it unplugged, and the water goes through the radiator core with no problem now. And that was my whole issue. Apparently the core, the heater core, I should say, was plugged up. And here's the bucket. Yeah. That's what was in it, and there's a lot in the bottom, so I'm pretty happy. And at this point, in the inside, I don't see any water, so I know the heater core is not leaking or anything, which is a good thing. It's pretty dry. Worst case scenario is I might have to put a heater core in it, but I don't think it's leaking. I think that heater core is okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect my couple hoses here I got. I just had them snaked on there, you know, and I just took the garden hose with water and just held my hand up there and kind of flushed it out. And this little short one is the one that dumped it into the bucket over there underneath. I got a mud hole here now, but I think that should take care of the trick. I should have heat. So what I'm going to do is put this together, and it'll take me an hour or so to do it right, make sure I don't miss anything. I'll put my antifreeze back in it, and I've already taken the water hose and flushed out that coolant bottle really good again. Got whatever was in there out, and I put coolant in there, and I've actually drained the radiator a couple times with fresh water. So hopefully this time I've got all the crap out of it, and I should have a pretty good heater. So I'll go ahead and start putting this back together, and I'll let you guys know here in a little bit how it went. And it's Sunday. I'll probably have this up online on YouTube probably here in a few hours. So we'll see what we can do here and finish this up. All right, folks, I'm happy to report I have heat. I can't believe it. That's what the problem was. I got it all back together. It's running. It's up to temperature, and looks like it's flowing pretty good. And all my hoses are hot. Wow, that's really hot. And boy, that's really hot too. And the temperature's just about up on the gauge, and I'll go inside. And temperature is just about all the way up, and excuse me, I have heat. I can't believe that's all it was. So flush that out, and what a difference. I need to put a temperature gauge up here, but it looks like that's what my issue was. So if you're having a heating issue, don't go out and buy a heater core just yet. Try to flush it out, and that should take care of your problem. So yes, I definitely got some good heat now. I'm happy about that. And let's see, the only other tip I have, let me just shut the car off, is when you go to put the hoses back on your heater core, I like to put a little grease on the hoses because it makes it easier to slide that hose on the heater core. In case you have to take it back off or something, it'll slide right off. So I usually put a little grease on it. Other than that, just check all your hoses, make sure everything's back together, and you should everything should work out for you. But I still got a little bit of stuff in there. You truly never get that stuff out of your system 100%, but it's a lot better than it was. And I'll probably just take a cloth and go in there and soak some of that up now and then. But I'm happy with it. I've got heat now, and that's it. So don't go out and buy a heater core if you don't have any heat. Just make sure you flush it out first and do like I did. Take those hoses off, that whole assembly, and flush it out that way. And it may take several tries switching those hoses around to get it flushed out, but it should work out. And that way, at least you know if you still have heat and you have a leak, well, you'll just have to replace your heater core, but you may not even have to do that if it's not leaking. So that's one way to look at it, and hopefully it'll help you guys out. So if you have any questions or anything, I'll try to answer them. But other than that, thanks for watching, and good luck, and hopefully this will help some of you guys out. And this is probably the same thing for Tauruses, Sables, from 95 all the way up to 2010. So these cars didn't really change a lot, but the heating systems are a little weird, especially when you have a bypass system down there bypassing that heater core. And the problem with that bypass is that flow is not 100% through that heater core. So if there's any sediments that gets in there, it will get trapped in that heater core. But I'll tell you one thing, whoever put the stop leak in here did not do this engine any favor, or that heater core. So it's sometimes it gets a little, it can be a pain in the butt to get that heating, stuff out of there, flushed out, especially that engine stop leak, heater core, whatever you want to call it. They make so many different variations of it and put different names on it. But if you're going to use any of that stuff, beware, you will have problems. Folks, a little update. It's been about, I don't know, 2 hours, and I've been out driving, and man, what a difference. I have heat, it's hot in here, and the gauge is right up where it should be. So I just wanted to pass that along, let you guys know that heater core apparently was plugged up. And I haven't seen any leaks, and I don't smell any antifreeze, so it looks like I'm going to be okay. So hopefully this will help you guys out. So thought I'd kind of give a little update on the situation here. Although I probably will put another thermostat in it. I will probably go with a 190-degree thermostat. I'm not sure what's in it now. It's probably just a standard one, but the gauge is up there where it's supposed to be, so I will take the thermostat out and just double check it. It will take about 10 minutes, but I'll do that a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the heat. I've got heat. Yay!